Elijah. Elijah was waiting.
Elijah.
Elijah's waiting. Hello, Elijah. We got our tea. Have you got your tea, Elijah? Yep, yes.
Howdy, everybody.
So we just decided since we were ready early, we'd just sign on early. So I hope everybody can come on in whenever they get here, and those of y'all watching the replay, we're gonna get going. I'm here. We are in Missouri, as you can tell by the stuff behind us. Hello, hello, Barb. And good news, we found a bathtub for the bathroom remodel. So now we just gotta find feet. Hello, Miss Patty. Miss Patty, Miss Patty. We've been houseworking. We've got video. Hopefully I get video loaded this week. I'm going to attempt to load it tonight so that it's ready for tomorrow. Hello, Rebecca. I missed somebody. Oh, Polecat Polson.
That's too far for me to read.
Well, will I spill our tea if I do that?
Let's see if we can just move scoop the whole this way.
We're still adjusting. We're here.
All right. Patty?
Ollie and Patty and Barb.
What's
And Rebecca.
All right. Rebecca, touch by yarn.
And even though I said no, turned off my notifications, I still got one.
Howdy, everybody.
So, yeah. So we found a bathtub. We're so excited we found a bathtub because it's a special size. Too much lag? Okay.
I don't know.
We just can do the best we can with
We're
what...
closer friends now. Yeah. Yeah, we got a lot closer.
We got closer.
Yeah. Oliver, if you don't like it, come over here.
You know where we're at, Ollie, so come on over.
Yeah.
You can sit right beside us and we can lag together. Hopefully it'll get... I'm right by the box, so we should... That's the best internet we're going to get.
As good as it's going to get, and I don't know what to do about it if it's not going right. So we worked on the house a lot this weekend.
A lot.
It's not terribly cold.
It's nice. It's nice. Nice. He's looking to see what the temp is.
57 it says right now, and it's cooled off a little bit. So
that would be awesome.
It is been a nice weekend. Yes. A little cold couple days, but Cindy came on Thursday night, and we have been working on the house, and we have worked our tails off on the house.
Yes, we have.
We put some stuff in the basement, stripped some floor, and
hopefully we get a video of the basement tomorrow. A couple of good days until the next storm hits. I haven't looked at our weather very well. I've got to plan out my week. It's going to be a crazy one.
Yeah, Oliver, the internet modem's right up here, right by the TV, and we're sitting on the couch across from the TV.
So I've got to go home tomorrow morning to Kansas. Go pick up Freedom because her trial period is over, and they've decided not to keep her. I gotta go pick her up. I've got to Tuesday morning get up and go get beef, and then 46 degrees where you're at. That's odd. It's really odd. Unless your phone hasn't updated and that's an old temperature.
Mine says 57 at St. Robert. Maybe 57 earlier today. Pretty warm when we went and ate lunch.
It was.
We are in Missouri at the moment.
Yep.
And we are moving to Missouri.
We are
That
moving
is
to Missouri. Yep.
the announcement that got made 2 weeks ago.
Yep. I doubt it's that different from the 4 or 5 miles that we're separated.
Oliver, we're at
Grandma Sue's.
Grandma's just at the end of horse camp. That's where we're at. So.
But anyway, so yes, Rebecca, we are moving to Missouri. We're working on an old house.
So now it says, when you updated it, it's 57 at Richland.
Okay.
My phone says it's 57 at Richland, Ollie.
So anyway, we are.
So we are working on this old house.
Yes. Yeah.
And for you guys that didn't get to hear the announcement, we are kind of fixing up a house that was built in 1850s.
Yeah.
Some things we found said 1850.
Some things says 1849.
That had owned it for a long time said it was 1852.
Yeah.
And so 1850s house, Civil War, that has some Civil War history.
Yes.
An abolitionist union supporting preacher lived there and was shot on the front porch by marauders, or what do they call them?
Bushwhackers. And so, so 2 things happened about the same time. He preached a sermon when he'd already been warned to stop preaching pro-union sermons and anti-slavery sermons, and he did not quit. And so on a Sunday morning in August, he preached a quote fiery sermon in favor of the union and in support of emancipation. And and he also sold cattle around that time. And bushwhackers shot him on Monday night. So whether it was tied together, whether it was all the same, whether they were looking for the money, or whether it was both, whether they had heard rumors in town that he had differing beliefs than they did, and they just used it as an excuse to go and try to find his money.
But we were working on this old house, and there's a lot of work to be done. Kind of got a neat history. It was confirmed to us today that it was part of the Underground Railroad.
Yep.
And that was pretty cool.
Yep.
We know
where you're at.
at.
We know where you're at. Don't tell where you're at, Ollie. We know where you're at.
I wave when I go by your house.
Yep.
But we are working on this old house, and one of the things we're doing is the bathroom. And we found an old bathtub today in the pasture. We've got to get some feet for it. But Patty G asked if we had a fireplace or a wood stove. Of course, we're at my mom and dad's right now. There's a good pellet stove and some propane heaters here. And then the house that we are working on has a fireplace, but I don't think it's going to be much pumpkin. We want to put a insert or a wood stove in it, in that fireplace. And so we are currently looking for a wood stove or a fireplace to put in the living room of that house we're working on. And then at home, she's got a central heater in our house in Kansas. Yeah. Propane central heat.
So. I'm spoiled. All I got to do is set the thermostat. That's all I got to do.
And call Travis for propane.
Call Travis Ratcliffe for propane.
Yep. Yep, we're good. You're good, Ollie. So we're, and we are we've been working away on that project, and you guys will get lots of video. Hello, Evelyn. Good to see you. Hi, Evelyn. And you guys will get some video of that. Cindy has videoed a lot this weekend.
I have.
So when she gets that all edited and up, you guys will get to see that.
And I'm so sorry. I did make a huge mistake in videoing. Tried to video the work we were doing in the basement with my video camera, and there just wasn't enough lighting. And then I later discovered that my phone had a bright flash and worked great for videoing down in the basement. So we got part of it and we did a recap. So hopefully I can get that loaded tonight and be ready for y'all in the morning to get some updates on what's going on in the house. Got lots of footage and
your camera recorded well down there.
it did. My phone did.
I don't remember exactly.
I don't.
But I remember meeting up with you a couple
Yeah.
of places, and yes, we remember.
But
that.
I don't think we're close.
No.
I don't think we're close at all. I think we're going to be several hours.
We're in the Fort Leonard Wood area.
Yeah. So we're about an hour from Marshfield, where we had the Ozarks Homesteading Expo.
Yeah. I guess north. Are we north of there?
North and east. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, we're super excited too.
Yeah.
And our friends that own the house are excited.
Yes. And this is just going to be a kind of temporary situation, but maybe for a while. We'll see.
So we're not going to do the biggest remodel we're going to do is the bathroom. The bathroom. And
we're going to do quite a bit to the kitchen, but
yes, there will be there'll be videos revealing surprises. Hard not to just tell you guys. But I want y'all to watch the videos.
Howdy, Christine. How are you?
Hi, Christine. But I want y'all to watch the videos. And I know some of y'all will watch the videos anyway.
Yeah.
At Best Buy, we're on a tight budget. We just can't go buy whatever we want.
And the phone has a good camera or a good light on it,
does,
so that's what we used. And we got good video of it finally.
You're 45 minutes from the state capitol. Okay.
Yep.
So we're probably 2 or 3 hours away. I'm not sure.
I'm trying to remember which state capital, Jeff City. Oh, that's just not quite an hour west of Camden.
Okay.
Or Osage Beach.
Osage Beach. So it'll depend on which way she is.
Yep.
But we can email me, dear.
Yeah.
Email me, dear. That way you're not
We don't need to tell everybody exactly where we're at on this thing. So, but we would, you guys, just so you know, we love to meet up with people.
Who says knock, knock? I can't.
Oh, Lynn Manzano.
Oh, hello.
Who's
Lynn.
there? Yep.
I have an Android. Yep.
Yep.
We need to. Yeah. Hi, Lynn.
Keep an eye on that.
But yeah, we're excited. Working hard on the house. We got a lot accomplished, and so I've got several shorts videoed that I'm going to try to get loaded this week.
We would love to meet up with you guys. One of the places you can meet up with us this spring is at Baker Creek at
Mother's Day.
Spring Planning Festival. We will be there.
Mother's Day, yep.
And so we can meet up with anybody that wants to meet up there. If you guys get a hold of us personally, maybe we can meet up around somewhere. Ollie, if you show up church on Sunday, you'll see us. And
I will be, Gary may not be, but at Nevada, they are hosting a hosting an event. I'm going to try to get tickets to that. I can't remember. It's basically, it's like a clinic about farm to table and about farmers market and direct to consumer sales. And it's going to be in Nevada, Missouri. I can't remember the date. I'm so sorry. But I'm gonna see about, somebody tagged me in that, and I'm gonna see about being able to attend that event.
Mansfield, Missouri.
Yeah, Mansfield, Missouri. Yeah. The Nevada one would be a little closer to you. It's on a Friday, and it is about...
Nevada's close to Fort Scott,
yeah,
Christine.
Yeah.
Christine, we will be back home some off and on, so you guys get a hold of us. And
oh, Ollie, I'm so sorry that you've been sick. What are you drinking? Mac wants to know what you've been drinking.
Well, I ain't telling nobody. Oh. It is Bengal spice tea, Mac. Yep. That's what I'm drinking. A little hot tea. I found that tea with ginger and cardamom in it and cinnamon in it is a pretty good muscle relaxer for me in the evening. I don't know if you guys know this, but my old muscles take a beating. And so I found that works pretty good for me. No. Oh, Ollie's drinking Coke.
Ollie's drinking Coke. Oh, he retracted it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, so anyway, yeah, we had some Bengal spice tea. And That just
A lot of times I just do ginger tea, which is just ground ginger and honey and hot water.
yeah, and it's good.
It helps.
Really
it
good.
helps my muscles and stuff too.
It's really good if you add your powdered magnesium supplement to it at night. The magnesium, it helps you sleep. Yes, it is very good.
We love
really
Magnus
like
Spice Tea. And
the magnesium I have has citrus in it too, so it the powdered magnesium I use, and so it really helps. Ginger ale. Whoops. She something got tapped. I think we're caught up. Okay, sorry. But yeah, so we've just been working. So hopefully I'll have a video out tomorrow. I hope to have some shorts out later in the week showing you some of the stuff we did. But you try to take it at night. Yep. Patty, I don't know if you've seen it. There's a doctor on YouTube, and he talks about taking it for 2 weeks, and if you don't see an improvement, switching formulas of magnesium to find what your body needs.
Yep.
And so it took me, I went through 3 different kinds of forms of magnesium compounds, what they're mixed with, to get the right one. And mine, I needed magnesium. No, I don't remember. Anyway, it's a powder, but yeah, that's what I needed. But everybody needs something different. But,
yeah, Oliver. If you ginger ale, which is carbonated and has ginger in it, it's really good for an upset stomach. And I like ginger ale to drink. That's something I drink if I drink a pop. I very seldom drink a pop, but usually that or a cherry limeade.
And I didn't think about it. But, I've had trouble sleeping the last 2 nights, which some things have been going on. But and I wonder if I didn't have my magnesium. Didn't have my magnesium in my sleepy time.
Good, Patty.
Oh, good, Patty. Good. So you found what you needed then. That's good. Because I was having muscle spasms in my legs and all kinds of different things that I didn't realize were tied to the magnesium.
Throw up or drink ginger ale.
Yeah.
Sometimes you do both.
Just the ginger ale burns a little bit when it comes out your nose. So sorry. Oh, that was
Yep.
on live. We're doing good, Elijah. How are you? Yes, Patty. Yeah. I feel you. Yeah. That is me too. Bah. Okay. Hi, Beth. Beth is in here. Hi, Beth. Awesome, Rebecca. Thank you. He's got some sheep on there. Okay. Ollie.
We are really enjoying being in the Ozarks again.
We are. Again.
Now we are enjoying being in the Ozarks. We visited the Ozarks our whole lives. My grandparents lived in the edge of the Ozarks. My uncle lived in the Ozarks. My brother has lived over here for 20 years.
Yeah.
And we are enjoying being here. Today we watched the biggest, fattest groundhog.
He's spilling all our secrets.
Oh.
Everything I have planned. Well, anyway, you'll see video of him this week.
See it. But
he's telling everything. I'm not gonna have any video.
I'm sorry.
I'm teasing you. It's okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The all the critters and the different things and trees we've been seeing and stuff. One of the trees was running yesterday. Trees was running a little sap. And today I noticed gnats flying everywhere.
Narrowway. Hey, Ricky.
Hey.
Prep for Eternity.
Hey.
Bonnie and Jennifer, hello.
2 weeks ago, I think, on a Sunday afternoon. Or maybe it was longer than that. I don't remember.
2 weeks ago was the last time I was here.
Yeah, we saw robins, which is a sign of the spring coming. We saw a whole flock of robins. I saw gnats today. I'm pretty sure I heard spring peepers this week.
We are not having that in Kansas, that's for sure. It was cold when I left Kansas, though. It was warmer here.
And anyhow, we read this verse in Sunday school this morning that got me thinking about all that.
Mm-hmm.
It says, "The heavens are telling of the glory of God, and their expanse is declaring the work of his hand. Day to day pours forth speech, and night to night reveals knowledge." The heavens and the earths.
And that was Psalms what?
That's Psalm 19, 1 and 2. The heavens and the earth, which some translations say firmament. This one says expanse, but the heavens and the earth, they just show us of God's great glory, and I just see it so well over here, and I love to see it. To know that we have a Savior that's that powerful.
Woohoo! 60 degrees. He's not wearing a jacket today.
Cool. Thanks everybody that's in here, and yeah.
I have a family member in Savannah, and it was like in the 60s, and everybody was wearing jackets in Savannah, and they weren't. And everybody thought they were crazy, but they thought it was nice.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're super excited. Finding lots of neat things.
Mm-hmm.
Finding out lots of neat history on the house. We met Mr. Powers, which his family has owned that house for several generations.
Mm-hmm.
His grandparents.
He's at least the third generation.
Yeah. His maternal grandparents owned the house, and then his parents owned the house, and then he and his siblings owned the house, and so, and now our friends own the house.
And he knew the grandson of the niece of the guy that built it, right?
Was it the niece or his can't remember whose great granddaughter it was. Great granddaughter it was. Whether it was Seth's great granddaughter or if it was Calloway's great granddaughter. Great. It was two greats. Great. But anyway, he knew a descendant of the Manus family, and that knew some of the history. So.
Yeah, and he said that they said that there sure enough was a tunnel from the basement to the smokehouse that his grandpa and dad, when his grandpa got it, they had
covered it up.
They had filled in they had poured a floor in the smokehouse,
and somebody poured in the cellar too. So
somebody poured concrete in the cellar, and they covered it all up. But I imagine it was filled in before it was.
Oh, Patty, it's gonna be at least another month probably before we can live in the house, maybe longer.
We may be moving a camper to the place so that we can live there while we're working.
Yeah, there's a cellar. There's a cellar or basement, whatever you want to call it, underneath part of the house. So yeah, but somebody's gone in and put in cement walls and a cement floor, and so they covered the tunnel. So anyway.
So yeah, and that's part of the Underground Railroad.
Yep. So that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
We're super excited about that, to be living there. But yeah. It says at least we'll be together. Yeah, we'll be together again.
I'm ready for that.
Are you ready for that? Good. But yeah, so we'll see. Oh, and Freedom's gonna get to come with us, so I've got to get home and get all that lined out to bring her with us. It was I don't know what you want to call it. You can call it a basement, you can call it a cellar. It's a piece under the house.
Yeah, it's just a small spot in one spot, so it's not like a full basement kind of thing.
Gary's pitiful without Cindy. Oh, bless his heart. He does a good job taking care of him, and he lives with his mom. She tells me she doesn't have to do much, that he takes care of himself.
Yep.
But, so he's a big boy.
I live in the attic at my parents' house during the week. But
he even does his own laundry, Patty.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And there's nothing to it.
But anyway,
they don't have to cook many evening meals. Mom usually has something cooked in the evening, which is great and handy because a lot of the evenings I'm wore out by the time we get to that point.
Yeah, and if we get a camper over there and live in a camper, we can put stuff in the crock pot and cook it, so that we can have meals.
Yeah.
And We can, like, when I come, I can move a freezer with me and bring some meat. And we'll be able to do stuff. she said, wow, maybe I was thinking how pitiful Mac would be without her. Oh,
well, I miss my wife. There's no doubt about that.
He did get a crash course when we lived in Wyoming, and one of my aunts passed away, and I went from Wyoming to Oklahoma for a week because of the weather. I couldn't travel back, and so it was a week before the roads were clear enough for me to come back, and he learned a lot.
Yeah, and
learned a lot.
I was not just taking care of me.
You had two kids. I had Hannah with me.
Oh yeah, you had Hannah.
I had Hannah with me, so. Yeah.
I had two kids, and
he learned to do laundry.
Kathy, I had never had to do laundry in my life till then.
If you know, yeah. So one of the ladies at the church, she was our neighbor. She said, if you need anything, call me and I'll help you out. So we called her to do laundry for him, and she says, "Oh no."
No, I called her to ask her how to do.
it. Okay, well, she told it to me different. But anyway,
I just asked her which buttons to push. I had it in there and had soap in there.
She taught him how to do laundry.
Yeah. I just never had. I mean, I had carried laundry to the laundry room and I'd put laundry away, but.
And he's always known to cook and always loved to experiment cooking, and so.
Yeah, I don't have a problem cooking. It's just the time.
Yeah, just time. When he has time, he loves to cook. Loves to play. He used to make meals we called skillet messes, where he just threw everything in a skillet.
I love cast iron. That is my kind of cooking.
Yeah,
I like cast iron even better than grilling. I like to cook in a cast iron pan.
We just lovingly called it skillet messes.
Yep, skillet mess.
And I learned it from his mom. Yep. She made a great one last night. It was good.
Oh yeah, it was. It was cabbage and kielbasa and peppers and onions.
It was really good. Really good. But how can you go wrong with cabbage and
kielbasa?
Kielbasa. You can't go wrong.
And onions and peppers.
Yeah.
All that's good. It's pretty easy to put lots of good black pepper on it. One pot wonders.
Yeah, one pot wonders. Yep. Kind of. Shouting at clouds. Hello. Yeah, it was kind of like a hash.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Almost a fried cabbage, kinda. Yeah.
A little more steamed. Yeah, a little more steamed.
Yeah, a little more steamed than what I make, wasn't it?
But it was good. We love cabbage, though. So, one thing is, I got to get here and get started on gardens.
Yep.
And whether we do pots, I think we're going to do potted gardens this year.
We'll probably do a couple small raised beds.
You think so?
Yeah, it won't take me long to throw together.
Well, I thought about just doing lick tubs because there are a gajillion lick tubs around that have holes in the bottom of them. But who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
Hungry.
Yeah.
And we were talking about food. So we'll see. We'll get things, but I got mad dashes to make. I got to go to Oklahoma on Tuesday. Got to go home tomorrow. Go to Oklahoma on Tuesday. Got to find somebody to milk a cow on Tuesday. I got to get appointments made for Freedom and for the dogs that we're not, whichever ones or both that we bring with us, and that's the extent of the animals we're going to bring.
Yep.
Going to bring Freedom.
You've been dwindling them down already.
We're down to 3 rabbits.
There is one in particular YouTube farm that's on here that sometimes interacts and sometimes is on this live that got some of those critters this week, and another one that is on TikTok that got some of those critters this week,
and hopefully I'll be getting rid of some more critters. So we're just leaving what Luke wants, and Luke wanted some rabbits and he wanted some chickens, and his dog. Of course, we won't take his dog from me, but we'll see. I got to talk to Hannah and see what she wants to do with her dog. But we're gonna bring Saddle with us, probably Maddie as well. And then once we get here, we'll start over with chickens and stuff. Yeah, for sure, chickens, but we'll see. Near as big as we were. We'll have Freedom, so we'll have lots of milk. Yeah. So that's where we'll have Freedom and Benny, and I've got to get appointments to take them to the vet and get their health checks and get Benny started on his shots. I guess probably we'll see. We'll see what the vet says he needs to have to transport him. What the requirements are to bring him here. Bring Freedom here. That's what I'm most excited about. I'm pretty excited I get to bring my cow with me.
Yeah, and the people that own the house said, it's a cattle grant.
Yeah.
It's part of one of their pastures, and they said it was no problem with us bringing the cow, and we can be part of the barn and part of a little trap part of the time that has a little spring-fed pond, a couple of acres of grass. That'll be good.
Yep, be real good. Be real good for her and Benny to roam. I don't know if I'm having a booth. Which homesteading expo? The Ozarks Homesteading Expo is in August. I'm not sure if I'll have a booth there or not. We've been talking about it.
It might not be under our name.
Yeah.
But we've talked about it.
We've talked about it. It'll depend on if we can get help with it, because we're going to have to. We love to help Cheryl. And
yes. If any of y'all have ever been around us at the Ozark Homesteading Expo, we really try to be involved in helping put that on, and just running any little loose ends we need to run, carrying tables.
Just the support, what you'd call just support of it. Yeah. I mean, Cheryl is completely all in. Oklahoma. No, we're not going to get to come to Oklahoma. I guess he's talking about the Okie Expo. Or she, I'm sorry. They are talking about the Okie Expo. No, we're not going to make the Okie Expo. We made it last year and it was great, but we're having to really pick and choose this year. So we got a lot of work to do.
Would like to go to Lawrence.
To the Mother Earth News Fair.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I need to get tickets if we're going to do that. So they'll be sold out soon. But yeah. And but yeah, we'll see, because that'll mean a hotel and somebody to take care of Freedom.
In the car somewhere if we want to. Yeah. But yeah, we'll mean somebody has to take care of Freedom.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, we might not. But we will be at Baker Creek, and we will be at the Ozark Homesteading Expo, which Ozark Homesteading Expo is the end of August. And that's kind of our plans this fall, and or this spring and this fall, I guess. That's for sure. We might try to get to a few other things. We'll see.
There is one near us, the Stockton one.
We will probably at least slip over to that
on
one
Sunday
for the
afternoon.
day. Yeah.
So we may not have a live that day.
Yeah.
But
we'll
we'll
see. Live from there.
Because that should be camp. So.
Oh, it's in June.
Mm-hmm. That should be camp, but they're having a 3-day thing. So whatever's left on Sunday by the time we can get there, we'll see. I figure we probably won't be able to make it because of the dates, unless something is different with camp this year. But yeah.
But we may have a booth for us, or Cargo Custom Carpentry.
Yeah, we'll see. At the Ozark Homesteading Expo.
At the Ozark Homesteading
Expo.
Hey,
9 Acre. How are you, Dale?
That we are. Yeah, there's one of those channels I was talking about a minute ago. Were your ears burning?
Yeah.
I was talking about you.
Hi, Charlene.
Hey.
Yeah, we will be there.
We are on the speaker list.
We're on the speaker list, so we're going to speak.
Don't know what we're speaking about, but we're on the speaker list.
Yeah, we'll speak and do whatever we need to do.
Actually, I do know one thing I'm going to be. There is a well-known chicken plucker.
The jalopy.
And I may have to show him how it's done.
Show him how it's done in the jalopy.
Actually, Joel Salatin is teaching the chicken processing, the poultry processing this year, and he has requested that I assist him and bring my equipment. And so we will be involved in that for sure. It won't be me running it. Maybe it'll be done a little different this time, but
that's okay.
But yes, we will be involved in that for sure. And I don't know what else we're going to be speaking about, but we know we are on the speaker list. Yeah. In fact, if you look up the poster for the Ozark Homesteading Expo this year, 2023, it's got her smiling face on it, and it's got my ugly mug right next to her.
Oh, I missed it. Ozark Homesteading Expo is in August again this year, where we went and 9 Acre Family Farm went with us, and
Oh yes,
yes, we loved that.
that.
Dale was an amazing camp cook,
Oh
and
yeah.
Lisa did an amazing job as camp host, and Emma was in on that too, and
Yes.
she was camp hostess as well.
We brought
And-
a little meat and stuff, and picked out the camping spot, and everybody showed up and made this wonderful camp.
We had the
And we
greatest
could
time.
go deal with
Yep.
the expo, and then we had a wonderful camp, and we loved having you guys with us.
Yeah, it was
last
fabulous. So
Year. Yes.
so Emma from Sonny's place, and then Dale and Lisa from 9 Acre Family Farm, they did an amazing job with camp. I mean, they just
and
did
they
great.
hosted. I mean, it wasn't just us.
No,
they hosted
They had a big cookout one night.
Cookout one night,
Mm-hmm.
and we were glad that they did that.
Yeah, it was
And
fun.
We had a lot of people there, and
Yeah.
that was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We know that we are going to be camping, or that was the plan, anyways, at
Baker Creek.
Baker Creek this spring, and I'm sure we will be over that one too.
Hey,
Cool. Good to see you. Dirt Road Destiny.
well, greetings. We're not at the. We're
We
not.
are
We're
on
working.
Missouri Farm,
We're in
but it's
Missouri.
not ours.
Nope.
But we have not gotten moved yet, but that is our goal. We are working towards that, and we may be staying in a camper on the place while we're working on the house and stuff.
We'll just have to see.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long, strung out move. That's the part I'm dreading most.
Oh, cool.
Awesome,
Yep.
a magazine.
Yep.
Cool.
Their seed catalog,
catalog,
is
yeah.
it's cool. A lot of times it has quotes from the Bible and quotes from like Nino Simmons. and
Well, it
quotes from
depends on
Ben
what.
Franklin.
Is it the little one or the big one?
The little one has a few in it
Okay,
too. They
good,
both
good.
do. There's more in the big one, but
Mhm.
he has quite a varied quotes. Then it's kind of
Eclectic.
very eclectic, yes, and it always has some information about the seeds and
I like
and the
that.
plants and
And
where they
history,
were
yeah.
found. Yep.
What do we do for ticks camping? We use tea
Put 'em in the
tree
fried
oil soap.
potatoes.
We use tea tree oil soap typically. I'm out, but typically, and that kind deters them. They don't like tea tree oil.
Oh, you got the big one. You got the whole seed catalog, huh?
Woo!
That's cool.
That one's fun.
Yes.
That one's a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah. We do some tea tree oil soap, and you use some tea tree oil, and that's really all we do. I don't get too wound up about ticks and don't have a huge problem with them.
But they don't like us as
typically
well.
we're not camping. I mean, like that. We're camping on the fairgrounds, and
Yeah, and we did find some last
Yeah,
year.
we
We
did.
did have some last year, but it just depends. And sometimes they're not moving good yet. Love tea tree. Cool.
Yep. We like to camp. A lot of times our camps are pretty quick and dirty. It's a pup tent and a air mattress, and then we might have some cooking stuff on the tailgate. Dale did a much better
He
job
did.
of setting up a more
Blackstone.
accommodating place for everybody, and we greatly appreciated that.
And that was always plenty of food and
Oh.
good food. Dale's a good cook.
Yeah, good.
Dale and Lisa and Emma did a great job with the camp.
I have found that if you can provide a little good pork or a little good beef, there's always somebody that can do a good job cooking it for you. And so, yeah. Yeah, and yeah, we loved having Emma in our camp. And we camped with her at Baker Creek last year too. And well, that was an amazing camp. So Cindy and I at that one, we just put an air mattress in the bed of our pickup.
Love cooking.
Yeah,
Yes.
good.
Yes, you guys do a great job.
Yes, we love eating your cooking. and so we camped at Baker Creek last spring. We just put our air mattress in the bed of our pickup, slept out under the stars. It looked clear, looked like it wasn't going to rain. Emma camped in her SUV. We just put a mattress in the back of the pickup, and I woke up about 4 in the morning, which is pretty typical, and there was a bunch of meteors.
Yeah, meteor shower.
A meteor shower. Just laying in the bed of the pickup looking up at a meteor shower was amazing. And then I woke up and we made us all some coffee and tea and cooked some potatoes and eggs and sausage from our homestead.
Mm-hmm. Got the quail in a new home. Awesome.
Good deal. Good deal. Yep. We thinned out a lot of our critters, and
Dale and
Lisa got some of them, and we greatly appreciate you guys taking those. Yep. We enjoy camping.
Okay, I don't.
Huh.
That's interesting.
Yep.
I hadn't heard that.
Yep. I don't know. I hadn't heard that.
Oh, thank you guys. I was just tickled for them to go somewhere.
Yep.
They'd gotten out on me, and I was afraid they weren't going to make it. I had to chase two of them down, try to rescue one from the dog. But I think in hindsight, she didn't hurt it at all. I think she was trying to hold on to it for me.
I think she's pretty soft-mouthed anyways.
Yeah, and me getting on to her, she let it go. Because I was yelling at her. So, but poor thing, I think she really was just trying to help me catch it.
She's pretty soft-mouthed. Beagles ain't like curs and Catahoulas.
Well, I'm used to dogs that just
kill stuff.
Yes. Crunch them.
Yeah. We love our mountain curs, and another breed of dog we've always loved is Catahoulas.
And then we got a beagle.
And the beagle is amazing. Our son has a Catahoula right now. This is sure a neat dog.
It is a neat dog.
And our daughter, one of our daughters, with us is old Catahoula, or not old mountain cur, and he's an amazing dog too. Saddled. You guys have seen some of him.
Hey, Xander.
Hey.
Xander, come in. Awesome.
All right. Well, we got 12 people in here. That's
cool. We do. That's awesome. So yeah, we're just hanging out, talking. So if you guys got to be working in the same area, so I put a picture of the house up as our thumbnail. Picture of the front of the house. So as you can see from that, you can see some of the exterior work that needs to be done. Some of it, but yeah. So there's Gary's work is cut out for him, but it's okay. It's what he enjoys doing.
Yep, we'll get there.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited.
It's just the way it is, I guess. One of these days maybe I won't have a project. Then I'll find a project. So, yeah, we're gonna get this house going where we can live in it. Mm-hmm. We're gonna put in a small garden this year of some sort, whether it's containers or a small couple of raised beds. Yeah. I think a couple of raised beds won't be too hard for us, and we'll do that. And we'll have our chickens and the cow. We'll get some chickens and we'll have a cow. Mm-hmm. And we're going to do a lot more foraging and fishing and deer hunting. That's our plan over here. To do less small farm agriculture and more just sustenance level type and foraging and stuff. And just kind of switch our homesteading up a little bit. We want to do a lot of exploring in the Ozarks. A couple of caves I really want to go see. I love going in caves. And you guys have seen some of our caves. We've put cave videos up here, haven't we? The Mark Twain cave was amazing. Amazing. That was actually the cave that tourists went in and people went and played on Sunday afternoon when Mark Twain was a kid, and he used it in the Tom Sawyer books. Yep. And like a lot of the stuff that he describes, that you can go see it. Number 2 under the cross. Yep. There's a room in one of those caves, and it's the second room from the entrance. And it's got a cross crack in the ceiling, and we shot a video of number 2 under the cross, and that was really cool. But there are a lot of caves around Lake of the Ozarks and around here, and so we're gonna maybe get to see some of them this year. There's a cave that has an escape room in it here that they set up as an escape room game.
I don't want to.
There's a cave at Brumley that has a pumpkin patch in it every fall. There's a cave restaurant over by the lake. And so we're looking forward to all the different fun stuff to do around here.
Xander just come in from outside the garden, needs redoing. 6 foot of snow did a number on it. I bet it did.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. Professional dog training, huh?
Is in Carson City. Yep. Yep. That's neat. That's neat.
Yeah, we visited Hannibal this last summer, which was where he was from originally, or something like that.
Supposed to be a distant relative of yours.
Yeah.
So that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, my grandmother's maiden name was Clemens.
And somehow somebody traced it and said yes, they were distant relatives, cousins or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So Shining Cloud said they were dog trainers. My brother and I were joking. There was a YouTube guy I found, and he does all those what different dogs are like videos, and they're kind of goofy, but what different dogs are like when somebody breaks into the house, and he'd have like a robber, and then different ones and dogs, and it was actually him doing what the dogs would say, kind of silly stuff, and he said that beagles would say, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And the robber would say, "I'm here to rob you," and he'd say, "Oh, well, the neighbor's got better stuff. Let's go rob him." And then one of them was like the golden retriever. I'll show you where the good stuff is. And my brother and he had one that was like the German Shepherd was, had a machine gun or whatever. And
gotta be careful what you say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But my brother and I was like, well, let's see if he does one on Catahoula's. The guy wouldn't even get in the door. Catahoula eats his lunch.
I have to be careful with LOL. Yeah.
We love I've been told that we like obscure dogs. Somebody told me one time that I like obscure dogs, which mountain curs and Catahoulas aren't real obscure, but there are people that don't know what they are.
Right.
And just depends on where you're at, the circles you're in. But best dog we ever owned. We've had some good dogs. I had a Shepherd Collie mix when I was a kid that was a pretty good dog, and then we had a Australian Shepherd Catahoula mix that was an amazing dog.
Oh goodness.
I didn't get it read.
Yeah, but you don't belong here.
Yeah.
Well, like Luke's dog, I either have to put him in the house if somebody comes. I have to put him in the house if somebody comes, or I have to let him outside and get them in and kind of exchange it real quick before.
He's pretty friendly for a Catahoula. He is. He's real inquisitive.
But he wants to be all over.
Figure out what's going on. But one day I was outside and the dog was with me, and I was around the corner of the house, and I knew it was Luke, corner of the shed, and I knew it was Luke walking. Luke had pulled in, and his dog kind of buggered and barked, and I just being silly said, "Oh, I'll get him." I sicked my son's own dog on him. I did not realize he would sick that good, and man, he took off, hackles up, about to eat his lunch. And I started hollering, and Luke shut him down, but I couldn't believe I sicked my son's own dog on him.
Shame on you.
He didn't get a hold of him. Time he got there, Luke told him to lay down, and he did.
Yeah. But he was going to eat him before he realized who it was.
Yeah. All it took was that little get him. He was going to get him.
So, but yeah, he's got lots of fun tricks.
Yeah. My son enjoys seeing how good he is with dogs.
Is the mic cutting out? Probably not. No, we are not living in this house yet.
This is my parents' house.
Yeah.
This is my parents' house, and I've been staying here during the week for the last 6 months. Just come stay during the week and then go home on the weekends.
Or I travel here.
Yeah, and right now she's come here and helping me.
Vacuum the kitchen floor. I called him Hoover. That's awesome. Didn't have to feed him very much.
Yeah, it's very rustic. Of course, I come from a family of carpenters, but this all tongue and groove hiding behind me, and all kinds of Western stuff, and an old piece of a ladder, and my parents really are very Western, I guess,
Mhm.
and their style is very Western. My mom loves training horses and messing with horses, and my dad's been in the cattle industry his whole life, and so that's a lot what's behind me.
Evelyn says that she likes a
Rhodesian
Rhodesian
Ridgeback.
Ridgeback.
Remember the logger I did tree work
Mhm.
for? That dog of
Mhm.
his was a Rhodesian
Yep.
Ridgeback. Yes, those are neat dogs too. Those are neat dogs, and I would say they're along that line of Mountain Cur,
Mhm.
Catahoula. They're kind of that type of dog. Yeah, I like those dogs too.
But I got sidetracked. But our best dog that Gary and I have had is those dogs scary is it was Cassidy, and Cassidy was a Australian Shepherd Catahoula mix.
That dog, she had some grit.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that dog was gritty. If I told her to get a hold of something, it was getting got a hold of.
Yep.
And I worked cattle with her some, but she would get so wound up. She had so much to her that I'd get what I needed to get done, then I'd make her get back in the truck because she would not just. I worked for a guy. Well, I had her that had an old border collie. That when I was done, I'd just say, "Okay, that's enough. Down," and he'd just lay down. My Catahoula Australian Shepherd wasn't having none of that.
Sled dogs for sledding.
Oh, that's cool.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's cool. But if we needed to discipline the kids, we had to either put her outside or take the kids inside and leave her outside.
Yes.
Side.
She didn't put up with none of that. Those were her kids.
Yeah. But she was a good babysitter.
Oh yeah, amazing dog. Love my kids.
Yep.
Watch over my kids, and I know several times there are people that come around the house that were probably questionably shady, and they said, "I ain't getting out if your dog's there." I'm like, "Good.
Yep.
I'll call her off when I come to your door."
Yeah, she was good.
And she would if somebody was there and I said, "That's enough, lay down," she would. I mean, and then my son had a mountain cur for a long time that was kind of that kind of dog, and she was an amazing dog.
Oh no.
Those higher strung dogs like that, you really have to start as a pup and just stay on it.
Yeah, and some of them are just more difficult than others.
Yeah, they are. They're a hard. They're a dog that gritty is going to be a little hard headed.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. Oh, I kept knocking you out of your chair. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's
But yeah, they, you know, we've seen those dogs that didn't have a lot of money. My brother had a Catahoula mix here. He's owned a few Catahoulas, and he had a Catahoula mix here for years. And when he started having the camps at this place, beating his thing, the dog would follow him around and follow his wife around, the kids around, and 100 people would show up here, and she'd never blink an eye in the daylight. And we'd get all the kids in at night, and then when we would start turning the lights out and it'd start getting quiet, somebody come out of a cabin or a barn or wherever they were sleeping, she's going to let people know they were there.
good. It means good to see you, Marcia. GTSY, good to see you. It's okay.
I was just thinking of Tavin Dillard's.
Oh. Gary loves Tavin Dillard.
If you guys haven't watched Tavin Dillard, he's got one where he defines abbreviations. Just type in on YouTube, type in Tavin Dillard abbreviations.
Oh,
they crack me up. He doesn't get any of them right, but they're hilarious. But yes, he's a comedian out of Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah. We love our critters, dogs and cattle and chickens and rabbits and hogs and horses.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. So
that's our plan. Kind of reiterate that we're working on an old house, and we're going to get it fixed up and move to Missouri. And I've been working here for the past 6 months anyways, and living here during the week. Yes, Akita's too.
yeah. Akita's.
And a lot of dogs.
Oh no.
Sorry.
Yeah, we'll pray for her, Marcia.
a lot of the working breed dogs, if they don't have the job, they'll get into trouble because they
Yes.
got to have something to do.
They got to be busy.
Yeah. And my brother's got a border collie that does that sometimes. She gets herself in some trouble. But she used to get herself in a little trouble at my dad's, and now my dad started playing fetch with her, which she loves to do. And she loves to chase the water out of the water hose. And so my dad started just playing with her. There's dog toys strewn all over my mom and dad's yard.
Yeah. I'm praying for that. Goodness, bless her heart.
Yeah.
How is David doing, Marcia? We've been praying for David. Those of y'all that don't know, David fell off a roof and broke his back.
David from Kansas Misfit.
And we've been praying for him. And Marcia, 'cause she has to take care of it. Well, I shouldn't say has to take care of it. She is taking care of him. He's an old grouch. Yes, pray for Marcia. Pray for David. I mean, when you've got an active guy like that, it is so hard for them. And unfortunately, with that pain, and they don't always mean to, but they tend to take it out on their loved ones.
Yeah. And that's kind of the safe place a lot of times. But yeah, when a man goes through that, not being able to work, and he loses a lot of self-worth, and there's a lot of struggle there. And sometimes when you're struggling, it comes out in ways you're not proud of. And so
we'll pray for both of you guys in that, and your sister, and for both. Yes, there you go. Baby steps that he can take care of himself little bits at a time. That's good. That's good. And that gives him some dignity too. I mean, that's pretty humbling for a man his age, to have assistance and those kind of things. It's hard.
it is. We know.
Yes, we do. We do know.
We know.
We do know. It's hard for a woman too. I struggled. I really struggled. And yeah, I was cranky for a few days. Just a few. Poor Gary.
We're all right. It's okay. I know. You just got to remember that it's what they're going through, and it's just the way they're trying to deal with what they're going through. And it's not always right, but it doesn't mean that they're. I mean, you just got to love them through it, and it's okay.
And I think sometimes the pain pills make you grouchy.
Yeah, that's
because it seemed to be less when the pain pills were gone.
And sometimes it's the pain, and sometimes it's just the struggle, the mental struggle of all of it, and the pain pills kind of loosen the restraints on your mouth a little bit sometimes.
And I think it's a little bit different than that too. I think it just.
And it definitely, anytime you're taking any kind of narcotics, it gets you in the dark part of your brain.
Yeah.
It's dark part of your emotions.
Hi, Beth. Working in the raised bed. Fall spring, darling. But yeah.
If you guys where you're at, but a lot of you guys, it's time to start thinking about onions, potatoes, and radishes and turnips and things like that. Definitely onions and potatoes, and then right behind those is going to come the radishes and lettuce and turnips. So, yep, it's that time. If I had a bed ready, we'd probably be looking at getting some poked in, but
And
it might be closer to St. Patrick's Day.
The local, it's going to be closer to St. Patrick's Day. The local grocery store near where we're going to live put out yesterday. They put out their onion sets, which is the little bulbs, and they tend to not make a big bulb. They'll make a smaller bulb before they go to seed.
And those are a great green onion. Great green onion.
Or if you like a small bulb to put on kebabs and stuff like that, they make great. They're great.
They make great roasted potato onions.
They do. So we typically do a mix. We plant some of those. We'll plant some plants. And this year I started my first seed. Well, I can't say my first because I did do some Alsa Craigs and we had one survive, and then we got the spray and we couldn't keep it, and I just it was hard.
Saved seed off of it.
We did, and so so I don't know, and I was given Baker Creek had some Elsa Craig
See?
seeds in one of the giveaways in one of the places we went,
Yeah.
and I got a package, and that's what I had planted.
Baker Creek has been good in the past to give seeds at all the events we've been to.
Right.
I guess that Jared Gettle said they're going to change how they do that.
I think, there's seeds are getting in higher demand, and it's harder to keep up with the demand.
I think what he said is they're going to focus more on giving them to nonprofit garden organizations.
That makes sense.
Like veterans gardens and community
Yes.
gardens and stuff, and they're going
And
to
just be more focused.
put their seeds more in those places than as door
The events.
prizes. Yeah,
That makes perfect sense.
and that's a completely honorable way of doing that.
Because that's getting more and more popular. Is your market gardening this year, Marcia? Good. You're in Texas and have to wait a year for land prices to come down. Yeah. Yes, exactly, Marcia. The bulbs are a second year onion, and you need to let them grow. So the bulbs are a second year, so they're going to go to seed. And if you want a big bulb, you plant the plants. You can get a bigger bulb. Sometimes it is the following year before you get that big bulb. But you get a big bulb.
Yeah, it's usually that year.
It's usually that year. You get
If
a big
you let
second
them
year
go
for
to the
seed
second year, you're going to have a big hollow soft spot
in the middle of them. But for storage, if you want to store your onions, start with the onion plants. If you plant the sets, they're not going to store as well. And I usually end up dehydrating them.
Yeah. We dehydrate a lot of onions anyways. That's a good use for them. We make powder and we use just dehydrated onions and things.
Yep.
You know, we have done dehydrated onions and carrots. And we've done potatoes too.
They turn out leatherily.
The potatoes worked okay, but I didn't like them as well. But the carrots, we did carrots and onions and mushrooms. And man, we'd put a roast in the crock pot and throw those on top of them and some regular potatoes, not dehydrated, regular potatoes in there. It made great roasted potatoes, and all that flavor was kind of concentrated. And as they dehydrated on the broth off that beef, rehydrated with the broth off that meat, man, they were amazing.
Yep, they were good. We enjoyed that. I'm looking forward to hopefully being able to have successful gardening.
The last 2 years, if you guys know farm story, we had a hard time with gardens because
of the spray.
Because of our place being sprayed. So
yeah. Our raised beds did really good, except for the sheep kept getting into them. And so we had a struggle with the sheep.
Well, we sold the sheep.
We did
We
sell the
sold
sheep.
the pigs.
Sold the pigs.
We've gotten rid of extra rabbits. Sold quail. Sold all our heifers.
Yep. Garlic, awesome. Yes, November. Yeah. That's wonderful. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that there was our garlic was coming up. Yeah. Chickens have been eating it off pretty heavy. But it's good for them. That's a good antibiotic for them right now, and
good green.
It is a good green.
And stuff.
Yeah, makes beautiful orange yolks.
Yeah.
But unfortunately they're not pre-seasoned. Cause that'd be nice if they were.
Yeah, have a little garlic flavor to your eggs already. That'd be cool. And
yeah, that's not good on your milk.
yeah, it will do that to your milk. So don't let your cow eat.
Don't let your cow eat it.
They have to eat quite a bit of it. I think,
yes, they do. They do have to eat quite a bit of it. So
I have noticed that the green onions are already coming up around here. We noticed some narrow-leaf plantain coming up around here.
I saw some broadleaf plantain somewhere too.
Cool.
I think it was out here in the driveway.
The maple trees are starting to bud.
Yeah. Yeah. So
If we weren't in the middle of a project, we'd be tapping sycamores right
we
now.
would. But we're in the middle of a project. So that may affect our foraging and homesteading this year.
It'll change
quite a
how
bit.
we do it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, it's going to be changed anyway, but it's going to change it quite a bit.
And the most important part of a homestead is home. You gotta have a place to live, so that's what we're working on right now.
So our hope is to get me in freedom here, and so that I can help with the house a little more. We're two projects that I can work on, like pulling staples and painting and things like that. What do I make out of sick? I'm sorry. I'm not sure what your
Sycamore.
sycamores. Okay.
So you can tap a sycamore like a maple tree and then cook down the sap
And make syrup.
and make syrup. You make sycamore syrup.
I wasn't putting it together. Sycamore.
Yeah. So that's what's done with sycamores. They can be tapped in syrup. So can walnuts.
Mm-hmm.
So can hickory trees.
Pecan.
Yeah, and maples. Any type of maple can be tapped. I don't know about the silverleaf maple, but the other
That's
maples,
okay, Marsh. It was me. I wasn't thinking abstractly. It's okay.
And so you can tap those trees, and most maples can be tapped, but the sugar maple is going to have less water to cook off, and have higher sugar content, so it will make more syrup per gallon of sap. Yeah. And but the walnut sap syrup, walnut sap syrup is kind of almost tastes like a his way.
Hey, his way.
It's Captain Caveman. So the walnut syrup is almost tastes just like a pancake syrup.
Yeah, it does.
And Hannah and I made some, and
good. You foraged. That's awesome. Hey, that's some foraging right there.
Yeah.
They make the best sausage.
When my
ever.
folks lived in Oklahoma, Dad had a place he hunted for a couple of years that had some wild hogs, and we helped cut some of those up, and they were good.
Mm-hmm.
They were good.
Yep, and they've got to be controlled.
Man.
Hello, Miss Brenda. How are
Hey,
you?
Duncan 1900. Yeah.
So,
guys, one of the skills I would encourage everybody to at least get somewhat familiar with. And if you can butcher and cut up your own meat, and the truth is, if you can butcher a rabbit, you can butcher a hog. Mm-hmm. Ask Captain Caveman. But if you can butcher a rabbit, you can butcher a hog. And if you can learn to cut up some of your own meat and do some of those things like that, you can save so much money. Mm-hmm. And you can control what you're eating. Mm-hmm. And you can take advantage of opportunities you couldn't take advantage of otherwise. That's one of those skills. It's just one of those. He says, "That's right, just bigger."
You need what you need, Susan.
You guys still on it?
Yeah, we are.
Hi, everybody.
My mom says hi. Do you need something upstairs?
Oh, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Saved over $1,200 processing our own fees. Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep, you can save quite a bit of money. Hi, Mom, everybody says.
Yes, he's walked out of here now. My parents' house is, it's really kind of a neat setup. The den and the upstairs can kind of be separated off. So
Yeah, the dispatch is difficult.
Absolutely.
And it should be.
Meant to be.
It's meant to be because
Meant to be.
that is a huge responsibility. And it's very humbling, and it should be, and it's serious. And unfortunately today that has been
There's a disconnect.
yeah, that's
for a
the
lot of
word.
people.
Yeah. And it's been
Disconnect on what
glorified.
eating meat really means and what death really is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a disconnect, and I think that people just don't grasp. And that's sad, and I really think the enemy has done that. Yeah. Because we're supposed to know what it costs to feed us.
Yeah.
I think God made it that way. There's a reason that there is no complete protein in the plant world. The only complete protein is animal protein. Now there are some pretty close to complete proteins in the animal or in the plant world, and there are some that you've put two together and you have a complete protein.
We caught you, Xander. We knew what you meant, bub. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I find it a little difficult to do that. Just, I guess, not to be taken lightly. There's a catch in that. I mean, it's a tough thing to do. But there's the only complete protein source is meat, or is animal protein, eggs, meat, milk, cheese. the only food that we have that has no anti-nutrients in it is animal source meat or animal sourced food. And I think God has done that on purpose. When Adam and Eve sinned in the garden, they disobeyed God, and there became a separation between man and God in that relationship that we were created for. God covered Adam and Eve's sin by taking an animal's life. And ever since then, man has been shown through the Exodus and through Levitical law that it takes blood, it takes death to cover sin, it takes death to give life. And we are shown that again in the New Testament when Jesus gave the ultimate sacrifice, the complete and final sacrifice to cover our sin by his death, burial, and resurrection. And so then I think God purposely made it to what we need to eat is meat and animal source protein so that we can see that it takes death to give life. And so that's not to be taken lightly. That's meant to be tough. In the Exodus, when they're given the Passover lamb, it's supposed to come live with them. They're supposed to get attached to it, and then they have to take its life and eat it, and it keeps them safe. It deals with the death angel, so it's supposed to be tough, and you're supposed to get attached to it and then mourn that death. It's not supposed to be taken lightly.
It's supposed to be a somber, respectful, appreciative to God for making that animal, for creating that animal for you to sustain your life.
And andouille sausage.
Andouille is good sausage.
Andouille is good.
But,
I had somebody cook. One of our customers cooks for us once a week, and she made us jambalaya the other day. And I said, "Are you putting andouille in it?" She said, "Well, I didn't find andouille this time." So she had found just a hot Cajun sausage that she used that wasn't quite andouille, but yeah.
So, there were.
Did I miss some comments?
Yes, one of the comments, and I'm so sorry, I can't remember who made it. I guess I could scroll back. But basically, the gist of it is there is a disconnect. People don't know where their food comes from anymore. And I believe Brenda Duncan made that one.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it is. There is a disconnect. I think people are searching more.
Yeah, I think people want to know.
Yeah, people want to know.
That's why what we do is important. That's why we do things like the Ozark Homesteading Expo. That's why that's important to us. That's why it's important to Cheryl. Because people want to know.
And, right. They miss the point.
Yeah.
They're worshiping the creation instead of the creator.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we do. We thank God. Yeah. That's the way we do it too.
Yeah. Bless you, whoever sneezed. Right. But Christ did. Christ said, "Hey, you need me, and I'm willing to do it."
Yeah.
And bridge that gap for us. That our sin separated us from what we were created for. We were created for that relationship. And when we do something that is against God's laws, it hurts God's heart, Christ paid for that. There's steps in that. We have to believe. The Bible says we have to believe Christ is the Son of God. He was born of a virgin, lived a perfect life, that he is God, and that he died, and he rose again, and he ascended into heaven. We have to believe that, and we have to believe that he did that for our sins. And we have to admit that we do things wrong. I mean, most of us, that's not real hard for us to do. But
animals look at you and go, "I'm hungry. Feed me." Yes.
Yes, they do. That's exactly right.
And our Creator, God, Yahweh, Jehovah Jireh, He
100 names or better. Yeah.
He provides for us in an amazing way, and He loves us. He requires things. There has to be a blood sacrifice. Jesus made that blood sacrifice, and his death, burial, and resurrection makes it permanent, and it makes it ever reaching for anyone who will take it, but we have to come to Him with an understanding that we need it and a repentant heart, and to want Him to be Lord, so that it's no longer us who lives, but Him who lives through us. And that's how we get to step into that sacrifice. That's how we get to be a part of that sacrifice. Jesus even uses the words, unless you drink my blood and eat my flesh, you have no part of me. Which I think he's using that as a metaphor to say, unless you make what I've done, my sacrifice, my life, death, and resurrection, unless you make that who makes you who you are. Because that's what food does. It makes us who we are. Mm-hmm. And so I think he's saying, unless you make that what makes you who you are, you have no part of me.
Yes, they will.
Yes, they will.
They will.
And I do think, shouting at clouds, that God has given us dominion, and there are times that we take an animal because of the destruction they're making, and that's why we kill mice.
But we like you, we like you believe that, like with the hogs, things that are edible.
Yep, we try to make use of everything we can.
If we can't eat them, if it provides for another animal or another resource, the decomposition of it, whatever. But His Way Homestead, to answer your question, it is slow. It's going slow, and hopefully I have some videos this week. Yes, because life is in the blood. I also think he kind of was in referencing that he was the Lamb of God. I mean, that's just my own opinion. He was referencing that he was the Lamb of God, and kind of paralleling himself to the Passover lamb.
Hey, Isaac.
And, I missed that comment.
Yeah, Isaac's here.
Yes, yeah, with the bread and the wine, yeah. And so, lots of things to remind us. His Way Homestead, are you guys going live at 6:30? So we don't want to run over the top of y'all. Mr. Doug, are you still in here? We're just gaining people watching.
We're enjoying talking.
We are. You are going live. Okay.
We'll make sure we get out.
We'll make sure we get out of here before then. But we'll just keep going as long as y'all are in here. Okay, thanks. We're just not going to run over the top of y'all. So.
Yeah, because we got to get on there and harass you.
Give you a hard time. But so.
Yeah, that's our soapbox.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I did not go live last week.
You did not.
I stopped on my way home from having lunch with him and visited with somebody, and just I talked too much. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine that? I talked too much and didn't get to do my live. But yeah. And I figured with it being the super pumpkin, the super saucer, the super pumpkin throwing contest, that I wouldn't get many people anyway.
Guys, if you want to hear something hilarious, find Andy Griffith's What It Was Football. That is the most funny, and that's almost how I see sports.
Yep. Overlap the stupid bowl. We don't watch it. It's not our cup of tea, and that's okay if it is yours. Yeah, great.
If you guys like sports, good.
You talk too much? No, never.
Yeah. If you like sports, I hope you enjoyed watching the Kansas City Chiefs win.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
You know.
Did they win last time they were in it? Or did
I
they
don't
lose?
remember.
I don't. See, that's how well I follow.
I
I have no clue. I know they were in it before just because somebody said something.
Bunch of people dancing around in Arizona in snowsuits. That was the halftime show.
Yeah.
They were all in snowsuits.
Yeah. It was interesting. We didn't watch that, but like seeing the stuff people are saying.
Actually,
it's
it
interesting.
was on right here.
It was at watched
here? I sat here for a few minutes.
Yeah, I totally understand, and I kind of was. Yeah. We are not in our new place, but we did think yesterday. Gary said, "Oh man, I forgot to call Isaac because we worked on the house all day Friday."
Yes.
And so
I knew you'd said something about if I was going to do anything during the week to let you know.
Yeah.
But Isaac mostly working on Saturdays. But like this week, Joe had some things he had to go do, so Cindy and I worked on our house Friday and Saturday.
It's very slow, Miss Brenda. Very slow. It's an old house. It hasn't been lived in a long, long time. And so, but we did discover some neat things. So hopefully I can get a short up on that. We did get a lot of work done, and hopefully I can get you some video of that loaded this week. My goal is to, while we're watching His Way Homestead, to get a video loaded for in the morning of what we did in the cellar or basement, whatever you want to call that place that's underneath the house, part of the house. It's under a third of the house. So, but yeah, my goal is to get a video up of that. Yes, we're ready to, and we hope to have lots of gatherings there. A little, I mean, it's not great big, but
it's definitely a lot more room than we've had, and it is enough. There will be enough room that we can have a pretty good gathering, even inside.
So that's our hope. So we'll let you know. You'll definitely be invited, and as you know, you're welcome anytime, Isaac.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
No. Can't tell your nephew he can't come over. I mean. It is it is a tree-built house. Literally, there are trees underneath that house.
Yeah, so they're the floor joists, the floor framing.
Yeah, we're going to be a little bit closer to y'all His Way.
Yes. We are the floor framing. The outside, the rim joists, and even like the center kind of rim joists are hewn beams, like hand hewn. You can see the broad axe marks in them, hewn beams. And then the floor joists are logs that have been notched on the end to fit holes in those hewn beams. And then the tops have been hewn flat.
Yeah.
And so it's log floor joists with hewn beams on the outside. And it is just the neatest,
super cool
floor joists and floor framing, and then it's balloon construction from there up. Just a stick construction, an older style stick construction called balloon construction. And
yeah, but hopefully we can get you some. Hopefully I can get that video loaded, and you guys can see what the floors underneath the house look like from the cellar, or the I call it the cellar, but underneath the basement or whatever. Hi, Carlene. How are you? Sunny? Is it sunny in Florida? Or was it sunny in Florida? It's probably getting dark now, but was it sunny in Florida? Hopefully it was a nice day. But yeah, so we're coming along great. Can you keep an eye on the clock for me, babe?
yes.
And because we do not want to run over the top of Shelly and Doug at His Way Homestead. So we're not sure. Had a lot of updating on it in the 80s, so we're not sure how much of that is the insulation.
That's not insulated.
That's cool. Brick siding applied. There's Nana with 9 Acre Family Farms.
All right. Yeah, this house there was. So one outside wall, I've got to pull it off and redeck some of it. We're probably going to put some insulation in there when we do that. But it appears that it had wool.
Wool, okay.
It appears that it had wool in it. A lot of further south from here where I grew up, I've seen a lot with cottonseed holes. But that appears to have wool in it.
72 today. Woo! I may become a snowbird. Newspaper.
Yeah, I've seen the fiber cellulose. It's just ground newspaper.
Well, there's Belt Loop. There's another Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, where you been? We haven't seen you in forever, Gary.
Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, so Gary, you're just in time for us to get ready to go here in a minute. We're going to do our prayer request. So anybody got a prayer request, please let us know in the next few minutes. We're going to keep talking. Yeah, so nice working. Ooh. Little lethargic, not eating. But she is drinking. Is she? She's probably in heat.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
typical when they get in heat. Um, Doug, I don't know how familiar you are. Her vulva will be swollen a little bit. There might be a little discharge. And when she's in standing heat, if you go to scratching her on her tail head, she will stand her back legs up and
She'll go rigid.
she'll get in position.
Mm-hmm.
And it's pretty easy to tell a lot of times if they're in heat.
Yep.
But that's and their temperature raises when they're in heat.
So they don't feel the greatest.
Yeah, but that's pretty typical if they're in heat.
The house I grew up in had cotton insulation.
Yeah.
No, we totally understand,
Yeah.
Gary. We just got to give you a hard time, buddy, because you know you'd pick on us too. We're glad you're here.
She's pregnant.
Oh, I think she's pregnant. Ooh, that may be a sign of pigging. 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days.
Yep. From the breed date, 3 months, 3 weeks, and 3 days gestation.
Thank you, Beth.
Grandpa used to say 3 months, 3 weeks, 3 days, 3 hours, 3 minutes, 3 seconds.
Yeah.
But Doug, I don't know if you know the milk test. If you get a hold of a teat and squeeze it, and you can get a squirt of milk, you're within 48 hours of pigging usually.
Okay.
You got a stream of milk.
Xander wants to be put on the prayer list.
Okay.
Sherry, yes, thank you, Miss Sherry. With 2 family.
Oh yeah.
Miss Sherry with 2 family.
Dale's dad.
Dale's dad. Okay, Dale's dad.
Yeah, I bet that has taken a lot of time, Gary. He's open membership, so it's taken him a lot of time.
Oh yeah.
Temp was 102.9.
Oh,
Huh.
it's a little elevated. Should be around the same as human.
You don't know anything.
Huh?
He said, I don't know anything.
You don't know. Do you know that when she was exposed?
Isaac's thinking about buying a couple of goats.
Oh, what kind of goats? What kind of goat? Blake has.
April. I mean, she was just bred.
Who?
Doug says he thinks she might farrow around April or the 1st of May. That means she was just bred.
Oh.
Doug, I'm guessing she didn't take. And she's in heat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, Blake. You got Blake, right?
Yep, got Blake. Okay, that where we're at. And still continue. You got Marcia and Marcia's sister and Marcia and David. Okay. How we doing on time?
120.
Looking for a couple of milk goats. Okay. You want an Alpine or a Toggenburg?
That was Cindy's favorite.
Those were my absolute favorites. They were sweethearts with their disposition. They were just absolutely amazing. And
they're pretty hardy breeds.
And if I'm here and you want me or Gary to go with you, we'll try to arrange that. Look at them. Take your time. Don't worry about us.
And Isaac, there's a way you can check your fence to make sure it's goat proof. Get your fence all stretched out. Get it ready. Get your fence ready where you think it's goat proof. You get a 5-gallon bucket of water, and you throw the water at the fence. And if the water gets through, so will a goat.
All he wants is pray for him because he's been sick. Yeah, I think so too, Dale.
Yeah,
I think so too. I think she didn't take.
And Dale's got as much or more hog experience as I do. So him and I are usually the same wavelength when it comes to hogs. So yeah, I agree with you, Dale. That's what I would say. She came back in heat.
Yeah, I would think so too. And they don't hold on. I don't think they hold on to semen like the cow does.
No, they're. Yeah, you can make them come in heat.
Okay. Okay.
Is she still with the board, Doug? I would get her with the board, and see if he'll.
Yeah, they're always getting out. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how are we doing on time?
It's that time.
Okay, we need
Doug
to.
said, "Don't worry about them. We need to."
Yeah,
go on.
yeah, we do. We want to be respectful of that.
My parents keep looking in here.
Yeah,
too.
because they're needing to get. She's still with the board. Okay, that's
Okay.
good.
Well,
That's
he
very good.
should take care of it. Hopefully,
Mhm.
I make sure, kind of get him get him up, move him around a little bit every once in a while, kind of make him get up.
Wow,
that's
that's
cool.
cool, Barbara.
Cool.
Brenda, sorry.
Some goats, you get them trained to their fence and they just won't get out. I know that Cheryl says that they leave the gate open, their goats don't even get out, but they're so used to that boundary. So.
All right, so we're gonna get busy and we're gonna pray, and I'll lead us. Yeah, maybe we'll get done this time.
Yeah.
Okay. Father God, I just want to lift up everyone in our YouTube family today, and in our immediate families, Lord. And I just ask that you would be with everyone and those that have issues that didn't speak them out, whatever their burden is, it's on their heart, Lord. I just ask that you be with them, that you would remind them that you are there for them and that you will carry that burden for them, that they are not carrying it alone, that you are there. And Lord, I just thank you and praise you for that. Lord, I lift up Marcia and David, and Lord, I just ask that you be with Marcia. She's his caretaker. And Lord, I ask that you be with David, that he would heal quickly from this. Lord, I ask that you be with him. I know it's so hard to be down the way he is. And Lord, I just ask that you would give him grace and patience with himself and patience in the healing. And Lord, I ask that you be with Marcia's sister and her surgeons and doctors and medical personnel and her family as she's going to have this surgery for her face. Lord, I just ask that you be with her, that you would ease her pain and discomfort. Lord, that you would touch her, heal her in a mighty special way. Lord, I lift Xander up to you, and Lord, you know exactly what's going on in his life. And Lord, I ask that you be with him, that you would remind him that you love him. Lord, I ask that you would help him in his day-to-day life, that you would be with him and his family, and that you would be with him with whatever is going on, Lord. Thank you for Xander. Thank you for him being part of our YouTube family, and getting to know him has been such a blessing. And Lord, I just ask that you would bless him and that you would remind him of your love. Lord, I lift up Sherry and her family to you, Lord, from Two Family Homestead. Lord, I just ask that you be with her, that you would heal her, that you would be with Daryl, and that you would bless them, and that you would be with her family, and that you would comfort them all, Lord, and that you would, I know they know you, and I know that they are trusting in you, but Lord, I just ask that you would remind us to pray for them, that you'd lay them on our hearts, because you promise that even when we don't remember, you remember. And Lord, I thank you for that, and I know you have a plan. And Lord, I just ask that you would just do whatever you need to do, whatever you want to do, Lord, in all of these situations. Lord, I lift up Dale's dad to you as he's battling cancer. Lord, I lift him up to you. I lift his doctors up to you. Lord, I ask that you would be with him, that you would comfort him, that you would heal him, that you would remind him of your love, and that you be with Dale and Lisa and their family, Lord, that you would bless them all. Lord, I lift up Blake to you as he's been sick, that you would comfort him, that you would heal him, that you would comfort his parents as they are worried about their child, Lord. I thank you and praise you for Doug and Shelley and their love for their family. Lord, I lift up Ollie as he's been sick. Lord, I ask that you would heal Ollie, that you would touch his little body and heal him, that you would comfort his mom. I know how much she loves her voice, and Lord, I just ask that you would touch her, and if she has any worries or anything, that you would take those from her. Lord, I thank you and I praise you for being able to bring these to you, Lord. Lord, and again, I want to lift those requests that may not have been mentioned. Lord, you know each and every heart. You know where they are. You know what they're doing. You know what's burdening them. You would remind them of your love. You'd wrap your arms around them. Lord, I thank you and I praise you.
Father, you are mighty and you're holy. And Lord, you're the healer. Father, you are omnipotent. And you're imminent. And Lord, we know you're capable of healing. And Lord, we do know that your will and your understanding of what's best is way beyond ours, and we yield to that, Lord, but we ask that you heal those we've mentioned. And Lord, that we know you're capable. And that you comfort those that are dealing with other things. Lord, we just ask your blessing on those that have been brought up. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Well, y'all, Doug and Shelly should be going live any second.
Yep.
Yep, they should be going live in just a minute or
So
two.
His Way Homestead.
His Way Homestead.
Go over there and get on there and tell them that Gary and Cindy sent you.
Yep. So remember, God made you special.
And he loves you very much.
So, y'all, have a good week. Have a blessed week. We're going to try to get some videos up for you. And hopefully everything works out. Thank y'all and have a blessed week.